Shalom. I haven't made a video like this in quite some time. Oh, sorry. Not super prepared. Oh, man. I think what sparked this primarily was reading in Matthew 9 and kind of just being, not kinda, being very encouraged by what I was reading. And so I wanted to share it with everybody. But I just wanted to read a few verses and talk about them and share my opinion on them. But Matthew 9, starting at verse 2, and see, they were bringing to him a paralytic lying on a bed. And Yahusha, seeing their belief, said to the paralytic, "Take courage, son, your sins have been forgiven." But Yahusha turned, and so skipping to verse 22, but Yahusha turned, and when he saw her, he said, "Take courage, daughter, your belief has healed you." And the woman was healed from that hour. So those two verses, and then skipping to verse 28. And when he came into the house, the blind men came to him, and Yahusha said to them, "Do you believe that I am able to do this?" And they said to him, "Yes, Adani," or "Yes, Master." Then he touched their eyes, saying, "According to your belief, let it be to you." And verse 30, and their eyes were opened, and Yahusha strictly ordered them, saying, "See, let no one know." So Matthew 9, for me, the reason I believe why it encouraged me so much is because it was very heavy on belief, and belief changing their outcome, right? Their petitions being granted according to his will, of course, according to their belief. And I've lost sight of that for a long time, quite honestly. And I'm not very happy about that, but I'm very encouraged coming back into the remembrance of that. And I want to do a good job at that because I have not been doing that. Another verse that came to mind and was brought to my attention recently that really strengthened my heart is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6. But without belief it is impossible to please him. For he who comes to Elohim has to believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who earnestly seek him. Can't tell you how I have not been doing that lately. I've struggled with belief quite a lot lately, and I don't want to do that. I want to believe regardless of what happens in life. And I've noticed a lot of people are going through things, and I just want to say, believe, right? It doesn't mean that, if you want a super shiny car or a promotion at work and you believe that you'll get these things, because it still has to be in his will. I think another thing that I'm trying to come to terms with is whatever his will is, it is a beautiful thing. And it's not to hurt you. It's not to make you upset. It's not to deprive good from you. Sometimes it can be a punishment or a cause and effect of what you did wrong, right? But ultimately, I think all things work out for our good for those who love him, right? And so I believe that whatever's happening in our lives right now, it is his will. And we have to trust that. And if we believe, we can please him. And as you saw with Yahusha, 3 different groups of people. There's a paralytic. I don't know if I'm butchering that word. Sorry if I am. Someone was paralyzed. And then you have the woman. And then you have the blind men. And it's like, what if they didn't believe? Their sins were forgiven. They were healed. They were cured of blindness because of their belief. And so if they didn't have belief, it wouldn't happen. Yahusha, his father Yahuah would not be pleased. And therefore, what if he wasn't able to heal without belief? And what if he's not able to bring us out of what we're going through without belief? What if he's not able to grant our petitions unless we believe? And that's not to say that because it hasn't happened for you or you're still going through your thing, it's because you don't have enough belief. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is the best thing we can be doing right now, and I'm falling short in that, and I want to do better, so please pray for me, is to believe, pleasing him. And I can't even express how horribly, how horrible I've been at that lately. I want to do better. And this video is not to be like, oh, you guys get your stuff together, and I'm doing super well. It's no, I'm trying to get my stuff together, and these are the things that are strengthening me, and I hope it can strengthen someone else. I think for me, transparency is key, and I think transparency helps more than just being perfect all the time. I think for me, when I think of the men of Scripture, I don't think of absolute perfect beings, unless we're talking about Yahusha and Yahuah. What I think of is Peter, someone who fell short a few times, at least in these accounts, horribly, denying Yahusha, all these things, right? It seems like he was rash with his words, all these things, right? In one instance in particular, he was not a perfect person by any stretch of the imagination, but yet Yahusha forgave him of much, and I believe that he loved Yahusha much. And for me, Peter is such a great motivation for me. If Peter had no sin, if Peter had nothing to be ashamed of, if Peter had no shortcomings in the Scriptures, what encouragement can an imperfect man like me who falls short take from that? The only thing I could take from that is, man, I am done for. I don't think I'm going to make it. All these men are so perfect. I'm not. Is he going to forgive me? Is he going to help me? Is he going to save me? Well, I know he is, Yahuah willing, because I see these examples of these imperfect men that are forgiven. David wasn't perfect. Peter wasn't perfect. Nobody in the Scriptures were perfect except for Yahusha and Yahuah himself. And so, for me, that is more encouragement. And so, I'm definitely not a David. I'm definitely not a Peter. But if I can encourage someone with my struggles and my weaknesses, and them seeing how Yahuah is made strong through my weaknesses, then I would love to do that. And so for me, the takeaway today is be strong and believe. Please your Elohim, and whatever happens, happens, and it'll be the best thing ever, even if you don't like it. So I hope to help somebody. Another thing I wanted to read really quickly is Numbers 11. These verses have been in my mind for quite some time now, a few weeks actually. 1 second, I'm trying to find it. Okay, so I'll start at verse 10. So Numbers 11, verse 10. And Moses heard the people weeping throughout their clans, each man at the door of his tent. And the displeasure of Yahuah burned exceedingly. And in the eyes of Moses it was evil. So Moses said to Yahuah, why have you done evil to your servant? And why have I not found favor in your eyes to put the burden of all these people on me? Was it I who conceived all these people? Was it I who brought them forth, that you should say to me, carry them in your bosom? As the foster father carries a nursing child to the land which you swore to their fathers, where am I to get meat to give to all these people? For they weep before me, saying, give us meat to eat. I am unable to bear all these people alone, because the burden is too heavy for me. And if you are doing this to me, please slay me altogether. If I have found favor in your eyes, and let me not see my evil. Then Yahuah said to Moshe, gather to me 70 men of the elders of Yasharal, whom you know to be the elders of the people and officers over them, and bring them to the tent of appointment, and let them stand there with you. And I shall come down and speak with you there, and shall take of the ruach that is on you, and put on them. And they shall bear the burden of the people with you, so that you do not bear it yourself alone. And say to the people, set yourselves kadash yourselves for tomorrow, and you shall eat meat, because you have wept in the hearing of Yahuah, saying, who is giving us meat to eat? For it was well with us in Mitzrayim, or Egypt. And Yahuah shall give you meat, and you shall eat meat, and you shall eat. You are going to eat, not 1 day, not 2 days. Not 1 day, nor 2 days, nor 5 days, nor 10 days, nor 20 days, but for a month of days, until it comes out of your nostrils and becomes an abomination to you. Because you have rejected Yahuah, who is among you, and have wept before him, saying, why did we come up out of Mitzrayim, or Egypt? And Moshe said, the people in whose midst I am are 600,000 men on foot. And you have said, I give them meat to eat for a month of days? Could flocks and herds be slaughtered for them, to be sufficient for them? Or could all the fish of the sea be gathered together for them, to be sufficient for them? And Yahuah said to Moshe, is the arm of Yahuah too short? Is the arm of Yahuah too short? Now see whether my word meets you or not. And Moshe went out and spoke to the people the words of Yahuah, and he gathered the 70 men of the elders of the people and stood them around the tent. And Yahuah came down in the cloud and spoke to him, and took of the Ruach that was upon him, and placed the same upon the 70 elders. And it came to be, when the Ruach rested upon them, that they, Nabu, prophesied, but did not continue. However, 2 men had remained in the camp. The name of one was Aldad, and the name of the other Medad. Probably butchering that, forgive me. And the Ruach rested upon them. Now they were among those listed, but did not go out to the tent. And they, Nabu, in the camp. I'm also reading the Hallelujah scriptures, which I don't normally read this translation, so bear with me. And a young man ran and informed Moshe and said, Aldad, Medad, Nabah in the camp. And Yahusha, son of Nun, Moshe's assistant from his youth, answered and said, Moshe, my master forbid them. Then Moshe said to them, are you jealous for my sake? Oh, that all the people of Yahuah were Nabaim, or prophets, that Yahuah would put his Ruach upon them. And Moshe returned to the camp, both he and the elders of Yasharal. And a wind went forth from Yahuah, and it brought quail from the sea, and let them fall beside the camp, about a day's journey on this side, and about a day's journey on the other side, all around the camp, and about 2 amma above the surface of the ground. The people were up all that day and all that night, and all the next day, and gathered the quail. And he who had least gathered 10 homers, again, probably butchering that, and they spread them out for themselves all around the camp. The meat was still between their teeth before it was chewed, and the wrath of Yahuah burned against the people, and Yahuah smote the people with an exceeding great plague. Then he called the name of that place Kir Breath. Oh man, I'm butchering that. Forgive me. Because there they buried the people who had lusted from Kirbiath. The people departed from Chatzaruth, and they were at Chatzaruth. Okay, so I think for me, I know the people died in the end, but for me it's encouraging, because what Yahusha's telling Moshe is my hand too short? And I think for me that is encouraging, because when you think about it, there's at least 600,000 people there, and they're in the wilderness. How are you going to get enough food to feed these people meat for a month? That's a lot of food, right? I think I saw once a photo of a concert where they had 50,000 people, and it's an insane amount of people. It's hard to even wrap your mind around how much people are there. So to think 600,000 at least, I think there might have been more. Because I think it says 600,000 men, 600,000 men on foot. So what about their wives and children? I don't know, maybe it's literal. Maybe 600,000 men or humans is what he's trying to say, instead of the gender male. But if he is saying men, as in the gender male, and there are women and children, then there might have been way more than 600,000. But just even 600,000 people is a lot of people to give meat to for a month in the wilderness. Where are you going to go? Are you going to slaughter all the flocks of the earth, I think he says? Because these are things that the mind can't even comprehend. I believe that's why Moshe is saying that, most likely. I'm not him. I can't say for sure. But I think it's amazing. And I love it, because his word actually did meet him. And I say that for myself and for everybody else. Is the hand of Yahuah too short? Whatever situation you're going through, is his hand too short? And you know the answer. The answer is no, it's not too short. And I think for me, You know, of course, some of the people died before they could even chew it. And, you know, those people, I don't think they had belief. And so they did not please Elohim. We know that generation grieved him. So I encourage myself and you to, let's have belief. Let's please him. We know his word will meet us. If, you know, I know they died. A lot of them died. However, his word still met them in some way, right? Like he still did what he had to do. He still gave them meat in the end. So how much more for those who have belief, right? And we won't die before we can chew, right? We'll actually get to chew and enjoy the barakah that he gives us, right? Metaphorically speaking. And so it's just something that I want to do when I was reading Matthew 9. Will I be successful at this? Maybe not at first, but I have belief. See what I did there? I have belief that all things are possible through Elohim, because whatever is impossible with man is possible through Elohim. And so even a man like me, even a person like you, if you struggle, we can do this. We can have belief. We can get through whatever the heck we're going through. Whatever we're going through. It doesn't matter how bad it is. We're going to get through it. We're going to have belief. So I hope that helps. Yeah. Shalom.